planes themselves and then blame it on the Cuban military and use that as an excuse to go to war. This is what they planned. You can look at declassified documents and read it. You know, this is what they want to do. And apparently President Kennedy will have to go ahead. If this is their thinking back then, I wouldn't want to do any of this sort of stuff today. Dublin Mall bombings in Ireland, we had MI5 helped loyalist groups, gave them the skills, methods and equipment to carry out car bombs in Dublin Mall. They also had MI5 infiltrated the IRA, helped them carry out all their big attacks, killing you know, ordinary people. They don't care, but they got desired reactions out of it. This is all admitted. Stevens report and so forth. Lord Stevens, people look into all that. What about these events? September 11 attacks in New York, London bombings, Christmas Day bomber, so many more. You could go on. Don't even want to talk about it today. But
the underpants bomber. That's a classic.
Yeah, that's Christmas Day bomber. Yeah.
What about Palmer as well?
That Christmas Day bomber, it's CIA came out and said, actually knew he had bombs, we let him on the plane. He knew he had bombs, we let him on the plane. What's going on here, you know? He got this complete side reaction. September 11, turns out about 7 of the bombers are still alive. No revision of that. BBC went and interviewed someone over in the Middle East. No one talks about that. No revision in 9/11 Commission reports or anything. These guys are alive. Well, what's going on here?
And these bombers are all people in the same group.
Yeah, and all these people
and
massively.
the other people, our enemies who are blaming them, they want us to be standing fighting in our own country against these incomes.
Completely.
And I don't think that they'll be like we are. There'll be a few scamps among them. But it's the enemy of the nation, our enemy, who is inciting this. And my grandson, he said, oh, him and his pals, you know, mid-20s. So he decided if there's going to be any bother, we'll stand against them. I said, don't do that. Because he said, they are Mauritius in their nature, they want you, they're British lads. And I said, the real enemy is standing with his hands in his pocket, seeing 2 of his enemies destroyed, and he hasn't done a thing.
Oh yeah, really. What's your man's name? Actually said the Art of War. Is that right? I keep pronouncing his name correctly. I've read that years ago, and the detail he goes into 2,000 years ago about how to do, you know, position and get your enemies to fight themselves and how to read.
Knowledge good as well.
Incredible. Yeah. Here's an interesting event that happened in Baz, Iraq, 19 September 05. We had 2 British military, top guys were driving undercover in a car which contained cache weaponry, car bomb material. Were driving around dressed as Muslims, and they were stopped at this checkpoint and were arrested by the Iraqi police at the checkpoint and taken into custody. Within an hour of them, or in half an hour of them being put in that jail, the British military came and stormed the jail and broke out these 2 people. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And here's these pictures taken of weapons and the disguises they wore with little fake beards, go and plant car bombs in marketplaces and try and incite tension between both ethnic groups, dividing people, and you got it. They're not going to use the enemy. You know, it's so basic. And no media talked about that. No one want to talk about it. Talk about it for maybe an article or 2, that's it. What are examples of psychological operations carried out on the population? Weapons of mass destruction. Oh, weapons of mass destruction in the Saddam plans. Turned out he'd none whatsoever. Put in butcher, kill millions of people and control so much oil and set military bases. No revision of that, no weapons.
But all the Labour Party are denying it now, aren't they?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And then
just in the last few days, yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then they copied and pasted that dossier from some master student's dissertation, wasn't it, from North America, with the same spelling mistakes. The whole war on terror thing. Like Hitler said, imagining external enemy, people follow you anywhere. Osama bin Laden. Look at 2004, 2007. Completely different person. People want to look at that on the screen and see it. Oh, is that the same person? It's not. And how can the CIA and MI5 with billions and billions and billions of the military with billions and billions of funding can't see if this is a different person? Come on, it must be children or something. But it's not. It's about pushing nonsense and making people pushing psychological operations.
They've opened the boots in Iraq and he's bought some just for them.
must have been an international fugitive works well on him, doesn't he? He's arriving on it by the look.
And in
2000.
his videos, he's wearing rings. And his videos, he's supposedly left-handed and he's writing with his right hand.
Yeah.
And he's wearing expensive watches, which is a fundamental Muslim. He's not going to wear any of that. Absolute nonsense. The swine flu epidemic. Where'd that go? Complete psychological operations to put the population in fear. It didn't happen whatsoever. But what did happen was all the emergency contracts from the World Health Organization snapped into place and they buy up all these vaccines. If you look into vaccines, they only have a shelf life of 3 years per vaccine. So they want to get them all sold out before they went on date. I don't give it 2 or 3 years and wait to see the next one comes up.
The Americans enacted their civil contingency on the back of it, though, didn't they? They've never repeated it.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They're like essentially martial law in the hand if they want it, off the back of that.
Cost was £300 million as well.
Crazy. It's crazy. Well, you see directly linked to pharmaceutical corporations, government, and psychological operations, the media are pushing on this. Where's all the doctors with their independent thought? They're nowhere. And if they do speak out, then they're just not talked about in the media. That's the great thing, we'll talk about it. The whole economic recession and how it was portrayed. Oh, it's terrible, they don't bail out these banks. Bail out these rich people's banks, it's terrible. The whole big psychological operation is for people to step them in line and not question. And in this whole thing, the whole economic recession, no one asks, hey, what's money? What does money value? Why is the value going down? You know? Why my great-great-grandparents, get paid like £1 a week, and I like to get paid, a few £100 a week? What's that about? No, don't ask those questions. Or who owns the banks that's causing this trouble? Nonsense. Then you got all sorts of North Korea and Iran and all their economies being controlled by central banks, and they're usually enemies and they're threat, and global warming, as we talked about earlier on, and all these sporting events, World Cup and Olympics and stuff to distract the population from what's going on. Distract them from, a billion people starving on the planet, distract them from the fact that, their pensions are being wiped out, distract them from the fact there's no future for the kids. 2 people kicking around the football, loads of fun. It's mind-boggling. There's an example of a psychological operation. I better speed up and go and take an ages, haven't I? What time is it? What's an example of an admitted psychological operation by the US military in Iraq? Held in mainstream media. Pulling down the Saddam Hussein's brass statue. That's admitted. Stay straight up reading on that. The US military tied ropes to it, planned and coordinated so the media gated to film it, and they pulled it down with an army tank. It's just a planned, carried out psychological operation because the symbol of Saddam was pulled down, so now people love symbols, so that's what it was all about. And it was filmed in such a way so that people at home would think the crowd was jam-packed with people supporting it. In actual fact, the whole square was empty. Eyewitnesses. Look at this here, look at this, the amount of people here on a close-up shot. See? And if you can see, Barry, if you want to look at the images later on, see all these little US military soldiers sitting around with their arms behind their back. Having loads of fun, in the middle of a war zone, a city they just invaded a few hours ago, and they're just sitting with their arms behind their back. It's ridiculous. But look at this. Now we zoom back just look at the scale of that. Look, there's no one there at all. Now this image, sorry, apologies, this image was taken before or after the actual pulling of the statue. I think after because you can't see it. But you can see the scale of how they zoomed in. They presented it so that, people would think there was more people, people would think that there's more people supporting it. Here's an eyewitness who was there and he's seen it. I've seen a video. The one video I've seen I've seen a lot since I got back is the tapping of the statue of Saddam. And I can hardly believe it was the same one that I saw. Because it happened only about 300 metres from where I was, and there was a very small crowd. The rest of the square was almost empty. And when we inquired as to where the crowd came from, it said it was from Saddam City, a district of Baghdad with anti-Ba'ath support. And in other words, it was a rental crowd. You know what I mean? This is a very, very important word in terms used by the psychological operations division on the place. Perception management. What's perception management? Actions to convey and or deny selected information and indicators to foreign audiences to influence their emotions, motives and objective reasoning, and to intelligence systems and leaders at all levels to influence official estimates, ultimately resulting in foreign behaviour and official actions favourable to the originator's objectives. Whoa, it's telling you a lot. In various ways, perception management combines truth projection, operations, security, cover and deception in psychological operations. A joint publication, the US military on psychological operations. On the CD here, I don't have it with me, but you can look it up yourselves when you get the CD. There's a great one. Purdue University, people send that around.